Well, across the Memory Hall, both directions, and then kind of next to...
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 2019 meeting of the Lebanon Historic Preservation Commission. Christy, will you take the roll call, please?
Yes, Casey Sampson.
Present.
George Piper.
Here.
Dan Fleming.
Present.
Linda Ridgway.
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum to conduct business tonight. Next item is approval of minutes from the December 2018 meeting. If everyone has had a chance to look those over, are there any additions, corrections, or deletions? If not, I will entertain a motion for the minutes.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the election of officers for the 2019 edition of our board. As you know, the first meeting of the year, we always do officers. We have a chairman, a vice chairman, and a treasurer. I was chairman last year. Linda Ridgway was vice chairman. And who was our treasurer? Because it was Chad, and then he left.
Yeah.
So we probably didn't appoint one, did we?
No.
Okay. All right. I will open up the floor for nominations for officers.
Vice chair last year.
Go for it.
I nominate Linda for chair.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. You or...
Do you want it, Casey?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I nominate Casey to be chair then.
All right. We have a motion and a second. I will second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. All right. Casey, you will be the chair.
Okay.
Congratulations. Being vice chair.
Do you want to take over now, or do you want me to?
I don't want to take your seat tonight, so you're welcome to sit there.
Well, if you want to go ahead on with the nominations then for the other two spots, that'd be great.
Okay. And with that, we seek a motion for vice chair
Well, I would
nomination.
I would nominate Dan Fleming.
as a sitting city council member, I
Oh.
decline.
Okay, George.
Motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And with that, seek a nomination for treasurer.
Do we need one with a different structure?
It's probably a good idea to go ahead.
Okay.
What does the treasurer actually,
Do.
yes, keeping track of financially?
Run the meeting in case the chair and vice chair.
Oh, all right, yes. Because you both can't.
Originally, they were in charge
Yes.
of keeping track of the grant.
Right.
SOB money, but that's been, taken over by the RDC.
RDC.
So,
And the mayor's not made an appointment yet, correct? We could just make that person chair.
It's okay.
Okay, all right, I nominate
big
Linda
deal.
as treasurer.
Second.
With a nomination and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. With that, we will move to old business. Seeing none on the agenda, we will move back down to new business. And we'll staff report.
Good evening, Commission. Do apologize for not having the tablets loaded tonight. It's been one of those couple of weeks, and I just totally spaced it. So we had a bunch of January meetings canceled, and I got used to not doing it in January, I guess. So anyway, I do apologize for that, but you do have the packet in front of you tonight. Hopefully you had a chance to look at it prior to the meeting. But regardless, I'll go ahead and give you a short overview of the application tonight. Tonight, the subject property in front of you, 303 North Meridian Street, Lebanon, Indiana, 46052, is owned by Rick and Laura Lyons, the applicant. The property is zoned Central Business, CB, and this property has not been before the Historic Preservation Commission tonight. The subject property is classified as a contributing building, and it is not on the National Register. Our National Register only encompasses the basically core downtown area, so it does miss this property. Tonight's action requested is a certificate of appropriateness for facade renovation. And this is quite an extensive facade renovation. Some of the footprint and features of the original structure remain intact. There has been heavy manipulation to this facade over the years. It appears at least 2 different additions have been completed to the east side of the home. The property owners may be able to speak more to that tonight, but that was based off of my site visit, some of the information I had gathered prior to the meeting. The current siding is mismatched at best and in very poor condition. The original siding, there's very little left of the original siding. There appears to be some attempts to match up some more modern materials, some actually poor modern materials to the original siding. Most of the windows at this point to me do not appear to be original. There could be a few that are questionable. Again, the applicant may be able to speak more to that since they have a better understanding of the structure. The original wraparound front porch was at some point manipulated, and the south side of that porch was added into living space of the home. So when you originally saw the home coming from the south to the north, you saw a complete wraparound porch instead of basically the porch which you see on the west side of the property today. The applicant, in a nutshell, is proposing to replace the roof, siding, windows, exterior doors, exterior lighting, expose the wraparound porch, and build a new front porch railing post and trim with that renovation. The applicant is also proposing to paint the exterior with colors chosen from the Benjamin Moore historic color palette, which you do have in front of you in your packet. In the staff report, I go into some greater detail on the renovation that is proposed, and if you have any questions about those, I can certainly answer those. One thing I wanted to read to you tonight, because of one of the proposed materials being a hardy plank or cement siding material for the siding. I've done quite a bit of research over the last few months with the National Park Service preservation briefs, and I found something I thought was pretty interesting in preservation brief number 16. And this is related to replacement materials of historic structures. This commission has had a lot of conversation over the years with cement fiber siding, and they do address replacement materials in the National Park Service preservation briefing. And the paragraph I found most interesting reads as this: some preservationist advocate that substitute materials should be avoided in all but the most limited cases. The fact is, however, that substitute materials are being used more frequently than ever in preservation projects, and in many cases with positive results. They can be cost-effective, can permit the accurate visual duplication of historic materials, which I think is very important, and last a reasonable amount of time. Growing evidence indicates that with proper planning, careful specifications and supervision, substitute materials can be used successfully in the process of restoring the visual appearance of historic structures. You know, the argument is wood siding versus cement board siding, and both of them require more or less the same amount of maintenance. They both require paint. If you don't paint wood siding, it's gonna rot. If you don't paint fiber cement board siding, it's gonna rot. So it's really a question of a modern material replacing the original material, and if that modern material can more or less duplicate the original look of the original material. And you know, fiber cement board siding has a lap siding application which duplicates the original wood siding, and many examples exist of other historic districts, specifically with residential properties, using a fiber cement board siding with very good results. So,
if I can make a comment on that.
Sure.
Recently, and I did take some photos, Menards has, and all sorts of those places, has a whole display of that type that looks like stone, looks like, instead of, I think what we were talking about a while meetings back, that big blank look.
Kind of the board and batten look, yeah.
It's still that type of material,
Yep.
but looks like, you say, something else.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. it's
Yep, I mean,
beneficial.
fiber cement siding, the lap application that the applicant is proposing, visually, driving by, you would not know any difference between the original wood siding and this replacement siding. And again, they're both going to require the same amount of maintenance, no matter what you do. In fact, the fiber cement is probably a little bit more resistant to some of the humidity changes that we have here in Indiana, and that's always one of the things we battle with construction material is the vast differences of the humidity content in the air in the summertime versus how dry it is in the wintertime. So there's a lot of swelling that happens with natural material, and fiber cement board siding still moves a little bit, but not quite as much as wood. Happy to answer any other questions that you have about the staff report that I did not cover.
Okay. And if there's no other questions, we'll thank you for the staff report, and we'll welcome the applicant up. Rick? Yes, please. If it go to the podium.
We did bring the actual paint samples, if it helps you to see that, other than just where it's printed.
Thank you.
And the shooting samples too.
And if you could just state your name for the record, please.
Absolutely. I'm Laura Lyons. This is Rick Lyons. And we are the owners of 303 North Meridian. So, and as I haven't ever been to a meeting like this before, tell us what you need from us.
Well, if you could just give us a little if you have any other in-depth points from Derek, just give you a little explanation on what you're wishing to do, and
So our vision with this house is that, we fell in love with this house as we were working on the William Street house earlier, and just found it had a lot of charm. We like the fact that it's right there near the square. We love what the mayor had been doing to the square and all. And so we actually went in and met with him and said, we want to invest in Lebanon. We've decided to invest dollars in Lebanon, and we love to renovate homes. Our company is Immeasurably More Homes, and we sometimes we think of ourselves sort of like Chip and Joanna Gaines, but that's just for fun. The reality is we love working together and working to bring things back to their beautiful original glory. We're not house flippers. We're very clear that we're not house flippers. We do not just paint and throw carpet on and maybe paint the cabinets. No, we renovate homes to a home where I would want to live, where I'd be really happy living. And we put a lot of money into homes. Maybe that's not wise financially. But we want to give people homes that they are just thrilled to live in. So, I love this home, and I keep saying, I love this home, I want to move here. As I mentioned earlier, we can't live in this one because of my sister, who needs to be on the main floor with us as long as she's still living with us. I have a sister who's 60 this year and who has cerebral palsy. So she's with us now. So with this house, we know when we looked at it, we knew it was going to be a lot of work, inside and out. And so we, everything, the roof, the siding, all of it has to be redone. We probably would not have been able to afford all the windows without, assistance from you guys, because we're chomping at the bit of where we're getting right to the point where there won't be any profit left in the house. And we do need to make a little profit when we're selling them, right? We still have a retirement to consider one day. So that's the basic idea. We don't have a desire to change what it looks like on the outside, except to open that porch up a bit more and put a railing on, even though probably wouldn't have had a railing, and you guys can help us with this. But from a safety perspective, it's probably better code-wise now to put a railing that would have matched a railing that a home in that time would have. I spent some time at the library looking through old photos, trying to find a photo of that house from the late 1800s, early 1900s, because it was built in 1880. I couldn't find one of that one specifically, but boy, was it fun to look at the square and see what it was like, and to be reminded that when this house was built, we were in horse and buggy, and just how far we've come since that time. So let me turn my attention for a minute to the hardy plank, the cement siding. Our home actually in Carmel has hardy plank on it. It was made to be look like an old house, a new house, an old house that looks new, but this one really is an old house. And we've been really pleased with how hardy performs. It comes in either a smooth or in a wood grain, which we were thinking for this that the smooth would be better because it would have been painted so much that it would have looked smooth, you know? But it really doesn't matter to us. Either way is fine, whatever you feel is best. And we would do the 4-inch reveal or exposure rather than, you know, they have a 7-inch, because at the time it would have just been that 4-inch reveal. And when we've looked at photos, I've done the extensive work that you did, really can't tell the difference in the two. And the reason that we would like to use that material is because we believe that more homeowners want that material. Maybe it takes as much upkeep, but it's not. I haven't found that it rots like wood does in our own home. So, and it also has some ability to cut down on utility costs and things like that. So, that's really where we're going with that. Any questions about the siding or any concerns about that from anybody? Does it sound like a decent idea? Okay.
I think it's great to invest outside of the square and to grow with that progress that we have downtown, and with improving the historic value of that home as well. And looking at the details that you'd had in the application, you put a lot of thought into just about every step you could. So I appreciate that. I don't have any questions. The rest of the board have any questions at this time?
No, just kind of like what you said, Casey. It's nice to see that this program does allow for residential work as well. I think we've had maybe one, I think, in the last 5 years that has come up. Traditionally they're businesses, but a home on the square in our residential district is just as important as a business to upkeep and look nice. So kudos to you for stepping in and helping out.
Yes, and I'm very pleased to see you guys investing as well. With the porch, just
Yes.
curious, so how far over do you plan on going on that side of the porch? You said you didn't plan on...
It's back, I wish I remembered how many feet. Do you,
I think
Rick?
there's going to be about 8, at the most 10 feet, I would say, that's left enclosed on the porch. And that would be on the...
Can you move over a little bit to the microphone? Yeah, there.
I'm sorry. And that would be, let's see, as you're looking at the house, that would be on the south side of the house on the east end. That would still remain enclosed. And that would be part of the dining area inside is what we were thinking.
The other thing that would do is it gives just a bit of a buffer to the grocery store and all right there, so that it's, the porch would feel comfortable and a little bit more private than if it was all the way open. So that was...
So you're talking portion, like maybe the first 2 windows would be gone, and that would be porch.
It's the first
First window?
3, at least, windows.
Oh, first
Might even
3.
be
That'll be
before.
porch.
Yeah,
See.
it's
Oh,
mostly...
you're talking about how much would be taken
Yeah, how
off.
many windows? I think
Okay, I was thinking how much was going to be left.
Yeah,
But,
so no, I
it'd
think
be-
it's,
There's 4 windows.
there's
Well,
5,
Linda, in the application, there's 5 windows.
yeah, I
They
see.
they show 3 being
Yes,
removed. and
3
2
removed, 2
being-
left. Thank you.
The
Yeah.
2 on the east end.
okay, thank
We're
you.
looking live over here,
I've
got
and there's a
Google
tree,
pulled
so,
up, so-
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and actually, we'd like to replace all of the windows and make it a more historic look with the windows, rather than what's been done specifically on the porch.
What kind of material is going to be used on the porch? Is it going to be a wood porch, or is
Yeah.
it going to be concrete? Or
No, it'll have the
Okay.
same wood, that the regular front porch has. So it'll be wood on the, wood where you walk.
I'm curious to see how much of that wood plank you find underneath that floor when you pull it up, if there's any.
So it's actually partially opened now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And the old flooring is there.
porch flooring.
Yeah, the old porch flooring is there, interestingly enough. Now, we'll have to see with what's there, once we actually take that wall down,
Can you-
see.
yeah.
But it definitely will be wood, yeah.
And you're painting the actual siding, the house?
Yes.
Blue, that soft blue?
Yes, and hopefully, so here's the question for you. I actually changed the colors the day that I put that together, because I had gone and painted a little bit, and I looked at it, and it was a very pleasant color, but then I was at my house, and I was looking out the front door, and the house across the street is almost exactly that color, and I said, that's blah.
That's what?
Blah. It just looked blah to me. And so I said, okay. I called my daughter who loves to help me design. I said, I don't think I can do this color. And she said, I'm glad you said that because I just think it's a little blah, Mom. So we changed it, and I haven't had a chance to paint the actual color on the house. We don't want it to be a baby blue. And blues can be difficult. This is a blue-gray. And if I showed you the color chart, there's a decent amount of gray on that chart, on that, series. But what if I put a sample on it, it's a little too light blue, and we want to go one shade darker?
Yeah.
Is there a way, do I need to get back with y'all and say, do you approve this, or how does that work?
I'd leave that with staff.
Okay.
Take a look at that.
Yeah, good idea.
If we work in the same palette, basically, I think, we've done that before, and I'm comfortable with that.
Okay.
So to retract, you felt what color was blah, the white?
It was a beige. It was almost a
the
beige.
original color that you had thought of, and now you
Right.
like the blue.
You don't see that in here, yeah.
Got it, okay.
And like me personally, I'm one is like, we have a conservative code that kind of matches that time frame. We don't want a pink house over this part, right?
Yeah, we got rid of the pink
that's it.
before.
So,
We
yeah,
already
so-
had a pink house.
but you understand what we're saying? That's where we
Yes.
can work forward and say, hey,
Yeah.
what was close to that time frame in that period to bring back the historic charm in there too?
Yeah.
The most part, I'm going to trust your judgment as you're doing the research, and you have the
Yeah.
expertise on this side as well.
Okay.
But, I mean.
Yeah, and it needs to fit in with what's around the area too.
Exactly,
That was part of it,
exactly.
is not,
So.
Well, I think what's gonna help this, if you're doing the blue, is that there's a lot of white.
Yes.
That'll help.
yes, yeah.
Calm it down, that porch has a lot of trim board that I'm assuming you will be painting white.
White, yes, all the trim will be white. And that third color is just an accent color, so primarily the front door, is I think what we're gonna paint that accent color I showed you.
What color will the roof be?
It is pewter gray. You wanna-
Okay.
Next page.
Got it. Okay.
Your accent color, I mean, even if you
Oh, if you get
go
that,
back
that's
that many
fantastic.
years, might be more fun to do, say, a burgundy or something like that
Okay.
with the colors. It's not a Victorian, it's not a, even a Queen Anne to worry about
So
getting
yeah,
all the
that does more
colors.
justice than that does. for
Yes,
me.
you're right, it does, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, so I'd be, I
I
love
don't-
burgundy.
You're fine.
So that would be,
What you've got chosen is,
okay.
That's why we like it when you bring the colors, so we
Yes.
kind of play
Yeah.
them. For the most part, like, I'm not gonna judge you on what color you're using, as long as it's not crazy, right?
Right.
That's all we want, so, because I
just
trust you
concerned about a
guys.
black door, though. I don't know.
Yeah, and if it comes out black, then, again,
Yeah.
I'd be really happy to, it's called New London, I could find it, it's a historical color, I've been doing more historical color that is a burgundy, maybe it's a little.
That was just a thought, just, you pick what you think works all together.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really pretty, yeah.
How many square foot is that house?
I want to say
You've got the rooms.
28 to 3,000, that's what I think.
Okay, how many bedrooms?
That's the windows. There'll
Oh.
be there are 3 bedrooms,
Yeah,
and it'll be 2.5 bath.
yeah, okay.
Right now it's 2. I think it was 1.5 before. Somebody had previously purchased it and added some stuff, but they never finished it, so.
Be a great addition.
A very nice, it should be a very nice family home, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Fit many, many different families, because the kid bedrooms, as I would call them, are pretty large. Then the other question I have, can I stand here, is that okay? Or should I go back to the podium?
We probably have,
Yeah, podium would
that's
be-
because the public needs to see what you guys are saying too, that's why. Although I did
next-
like that.
The next question we have is about the windows and the
Okay.
window style. So as I was doing my research, it looks like one of 2 styles is pretty popular from back then. It would be, I would call it 1 mullion in each window, up the top and the bottom. And that's on, did I not number my pages? May not have.
Page 8.
Yeah, page 8 of mine. And then the other option is where just the top window has mullions. And so that would be, the 2 mullions at the top versus, and the bottom glass clear versus 1 each. And really for us, it doesn't matter. We wanted to know from your standpoint and your research what is more appropriate. The next door neighbors have the top divided, but I don't know those are original windows, so.
What year do you think this was built?
1880 is what we've been told.
1980?
1880. No, 1880.
Yeah.
Is there a recommendation from the staff, Derek?
Staff recommendation would be to have the mullion on top and bottom, so 2-2.
Okay.
That'd be our recommendation.
Okay, all
Well,
right,
that's-
sounds good.
That's right, okay,
It's,
sorry.
to me, and I'd have to look back that far, or the one where you have 3 panes on the top, which is more of a, not necessarily that style for that house either, so.
Was not that style for that house, is that what you said?
I don't think you would have seen
Okay.
this that you have right here.
Okay.
Would have seen on a house of that period.
Okay,
But,
right, yeah, okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's what was.
so Derek's probably right on with,
Okay, perfect. And then we have the front door as well, which we were gonna, as you see, it's a little dark in the picture, but basically just,
I like the
So-
idea of your transom above it if you
yes,
can.
transom above with the leaded, because there's that leaded window.
right.
So yeah, we wanted to add the transom back above it, you know, makes it an 8-foot feel.
Absolutely.
Okay. And any questions about the railing? Does that look, I mean, it was a historic picture that's, you could, they have those balusters, basic balusters at Menard, right here in town. So it was just gonna be, you know, that simple railing all the way around.
But the turn post, not the square spindles.
No.
You're gonna use turn,
No,
yes.
the turn post,
Okay.
yes, yeah. No square spindles.
Looks good.
You're not doing the grill work under the porch, or is it all cement blocks, so you don't have to worry about that?
Yes, yeah,
Good,
right, it's just
okay.
concrete block. It's a pretty concrete block, but it's concrete block, yeah, so I just wanted to make sure you didn't think we were gonna be doing any of that work under there.
Are you going to redo the steps going up to the front porch as well?
No, they're
pretty
concrete
good
that have
shape?
been recently done, it looks like, fairly recently, when,
Just curious.
Would that be okay to leave those as they are?
I mean, if they're in good shape, I don't see any issue
Yeah,
with that.
We
I'm
were
just
thinking of putting,
curious.
you know, rails down each
Yes.
side, you know, for safety purposes.
My only concern with whether you need the rails or not, and that would be a Derek thing, because that's gonna come right out to your sidewalk. I don't know whether it'd be an issue,
it would stay on the steps themselves.
stay inside.
The rail would stay on the step, yeah.
Well, it's possible too that we might want to stop like one step short.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 2 steps short.
No, or two, yes. I was looking at that the other day thinking, it does come right down to
Yeah.
the sidewalk, so.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, to that point, Linda, as long as they stay out of our right of way, they can
Yeah.
come to any point they'd like. What they're gonna run into is where that historic preservation meets modern day building code, kind of nexus of the world. And a home inspector will probably make sure that the handrails meet the modern day building code, which would be a certain height off the ground once a person starts to climb those stairs.
I just saw where the side, or steps were coming out to the curb there. It's gonna be right there, people are walking by, they're gonna cause you grief probably, messing with it.
Okay,
Almost looks like there's an old retaining wall there too, correct?
there's a what?
Is there like a retaining wall on
There's a
that
cement
property as
berm.
well?
Around the edge of the,
Yeah.
yeah, there's like this little stone, a little
Yeah.
stone retaining wall that was there. It's cute.
Do you know if that's original or not?
I have no idea. Like I said, I looked for a picture. I can't imagine it's original too, but you never know. But, you know, it's just a little bitty stone, had 2 little pediments at the top on either side. It's cute.
Any questions?
And then the last thing we have on there is the exterior lighting. It's not even, I don't think it's part of the grant any longer, but I would like your opinion on what kind of exterior lighting you feel like we can even buy anymore that is still looks historical. So these are the ones I found as 2 options. And I did find out from our electrician today, we will not be able to do the drops.
I was
So we're
gonna
just
ask you whether it's already wired for that. It's not.
Well, it's just the way it is, we'd have to tear up the porch, and he's really worried about tearing the top off of the, you know,
Ooh.
the roof, the ceiling of it. So he said, just today, he was saying, he thinks that's probably not, we should just go with the ones on the
Side of
house
the doors.
itself. Yeah, yeah.
Just gas lantern, like the original?
We
Oh,
prefer not to
yeah.
gas fire, we don't have to.
Whale
but-
oil, whale
Don't
oil.
forget the little town crier, he's gotta come too.
I think as long as you keep kind of to the theme and
Okay.
the wind, I think it'll be fine. I don't see any issue with that.
Okay.
The other,
Not by any means saying it as a requirement, but something you may want to look at is square lighting. I don't know if this is more square or rounded, but a square lighting, especially for exterior, would have been more common,
Okay,
just in my experience.
yeah,
Okay.
I can't tell if the one at the bottom, I don't remember, it's been a while since I looked at it, but yeah, thank you, we'll do that. Anything else? Is there any other, I think I kind of went through our points, but any other thoughts, questions, concerns?
I do not believe so. Thank you very much for the very thorough report.
Yeah, thank you.
And I am very thankful that you came to us and again, to invest in Lebanon and invest in the historic part of Lebanon is an exciting sight to see.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Can't wait till it's done.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna look great.
Keep us posted. We'd like to see how
Oh,
the work
yeah.
goes.
Well, we'd love you to come look at it when it's finished. Yeah, we were thinking maybe
Absolutely.
we could do some kind of a little, luncheon or something that y'all could come in and take a look.
4th of July parade at your place?
Say that again?
4th of July parade at your house?
Well, yeah, it's the
There you
parade route. That's what we call it, it's the parade house.
Actually,
Although,
we watched the parade in the summer, the 4th
Yeah.
of July, from the porch there.
yeah,
That's a good spot.
yeah, it is.
It's a great spot.
But truly, feel free, if you see activity in the house, please feel free to come on in. We're happy to have you drop in anytime.
Careful what you say, the public's watching, they may just.
All right,
All right, with that,
you guys can come in.
With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the certificate of approval following the staff recommendation and after hearing from the applicant.
So moved?
A motion and a second?
Second?
Hearing a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. That completes all the new business. I do not believe we have any other old business or other business, if there's any.
Nope.
Seeing or hearing none, that I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.